Hi everyone, Beth here for CornerPiece Studio. Happy Friday afternoon. I'm back to show you my progress on my brown paper junk journals. When I left you last time, this one was like this, and I was going to put this fabric piece inside on the spine. I chose to not to. I used another piece of the paper bag. So welcome back if you're here to watch the next installment, and I'm glad you're back. If you are new here, welcome. I'm thrilled to have you here. I am creating a brown paper journal using a paper bag from the pharmacy. I stamped with permanent brown ink on it. It was from Adirondack. It was one of the Adirondack ones. And I also used don't have another one, but I used a box from pasta. I used a pasta box to go inside of each of these. So last time I stamped this online and I showed this one and the finishing of it, that part of it, and then since then I have put in 3 signatures using brown cardstock paper, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used 5 pieces of paper in each signature, so that makes 10 pages. So 20, 40, so there's 60 pages with 60 faces within each signature. This one has an envelope here for, let me find something to put in it, for holding ephemera or whatever other little bits you might want to put in here. I put a paper bag in this one. And did I snip the top? No, I did not snip the top. What I want to do with this one is this has a pocket here, and I wanted to show you that I'm going to just snip the very edge off there. And what comes of that is, once you get it going, is another pocket. There we are. Is another pocket. There you go, to put something in. So this one has a paper bag in the center of it for that. And then this one has an envelope in the center. You notice I put washi tape here on the edges of the envelope. That's so it doesn't seal itself shut on you. I don't want that to happen. And then on the back, I glued in a small paper bag for some more holding space for stuff. So, and I used a heavy crochet cotton. I used this to bind it in. And you notice that on the edge, I have some stitching that I did. I tried to stitch with my sewing machine, but I started having issues with my sewing machine and it wasn't sewing right. So I said, all right, I need to figure this out because I need to hide all my little stitch marks. So I took my tiniest hole punch. It's an itty bitty. It's about the size of a needle. And I punched holes along here. And I stitched this thread. Oops. I stitched this into it just to decorate the edge, and then I put a brad on the corner, just so you know which is the top. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I put this together. The first thing I did Need to move that off to the side out of my way. The first thing I did was the envelopes that are going in the center, I opened them up because I'm going to stitch through here, then I'll glue it back and close them up. And then this way the knot is hidden within and you have a place to put your ephemera and whatnot. Okay, so that's all done. Let me tape these edges first. Oh, that one's not wide enough. Let me get a wider one. So I got a wider tape to put on here. Still not wide enough. Let's see. Let me bring my box up here. I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I have kind of color organized my tapes. So let's see. That's a little wider. That might work. So this one is my pinks and oranges and golds. Okay. Alright, that should work. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpeel a piece of it, the length of this, cut it, and then with washi tape, I like to, if I can find my glue stick I just had, I like to put glue stick on it because washi tape is a temporary tape. If you want it to be more permanent, put glue stick on it. You just hold it down on the top and pull. That's it. And then I'm going to line it up to the edge and the side and press it down. And then just look at the other side to make sure your tape hasn't come up off the edge. That's one. And here's two. And I kind of matched it to the thread I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this one to stitch it together, so they kind of match. This has yellows and greens and oranges in it, so it matches. This might be a little bit of a lengthier video because I am showing you the process, so just letting you know that. And again, if you're new here, thank you so much for being here. If you like what you see, please press the watermark down in my corner. Press the like, and see it's a little hanging off a little. I'm going to trim that. And if you want to see upcoming stuff or see stuff that I've done in the past, please press subscribe so you can see things. Alright, so those are prepped. Now this I'm going to fold in half. Yes, this is going to go in half because it's going in the middle also. So I got all my middle pieces. Okay, let's put this away. We don't need this anymore. Just want to clear off my table a little bit so I have room to work. Put all that up. Okay, here are 15 pieces of brown craft paper. That's what I used. I used brown craft paper on this. I'm going to measure the size I made, the size of this. This is 11.5 by 7.5. So I'm going to measure this out as 11.25. Yes, 11.25 by 7.25, and that should fit inside my book. Okay, I'm going to take about 3 or 4 pieces at a time because even though I've changed out the blade, my cutter still does not cut as well as it used to. I need to get a new one. So I'm going to do 7.25 wide. There's 7 1/4, because I want it inside my cover. I don't want it sticking outside my cover. See, it fits inside my cover. And 11 1/4. Let's see, 10, 11 1/4. Whoop. That didn't work out right. Not 11, it's 11 1/2. Oh, this paper is not 11 1/2. This paper is 11. So this will fit fine. All I have to do is cut off to 7 1/4, because then the rest of the paper fits just fine. All right, so let's cut more paper to 7 1/4. I'm going to cut it and I will be right back. Okay, so it's all cut to 7 1/4 and it's 11 inches. So I'm going to take 5 pieces, because each signature one. You notice that there's a different color to each. So I want to try and match those colors when I put them together inside the book. So I'm going to just fold 2 at a time, make this go a little faster. So see, this is here. So I'm going to take the next one, fold it the other way. So then this color matches that color. And then this one I'm going to fold the other way, so that color matches that color. Okay, let me get 2 more pieces and get them folded. Just, it won't look so odd if when it's this way. So take one of these and go this way. And the other one and go this way. So when you turn the pages, yeah, you can see the color difference. It's got the dark, the 2 lights, then it goes dark, then light, and then dark, and then the center's light. So let me pause you, and I'm going to fold the rest of my signatures. Okay, so I have my 3 signatures all set here. Now I want to put these within. All right, let's see what's in the center. All right, this is, I'm going to put an envelope in the middle of 1 and 3, and the paper bag in the middle of number 2. I'm going to do the cut. Where's my scissors? I'm going to do the cut on this first. Got a little nervous when I did it before. I was coming a little close to my stitching, and I didn't want to cut my stitching. So let me just do the cut now. Then I don't have to worry about my stitching. Okay, so there's that. Where's number 2? Here's number 2. Going to put this inside number 2. 1, 2, and then I'm going to put this inside of number 3. There. So each one has a little something, some place to hold some ephemera or paper pieces or whatever you want to put in it. I'm leaving these pages blank. I'm letting the person who gets these journals to decorate the pages. I'm going to leave them blank. I will, however, add some ephemera and stuff to it. Alright, so now, let's see. I'm going to do the marks for, I have to figure out which way I want up. Not that, I want this way. This is my front. I need to start marking and making holes for my stitching. I will be doing the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Now what I did when I did the first one was I cut a piece of paper the size of the spine. I put a piece of paper in there and I made sure it was cut the size of the spine. And this spine was 1 3/4 inches. Then to find a spot for my holes, I folded it in half lengthways. Then I folded it in half again this way. And I found the hole for the middle one. Then I took this and folded it in just a little bit. I didn't go halfway because it would have made it too close to the center one. So I did it maybe 1/3 of the way in. And then I folded down 1 inch on the top and the bottom. And that's where I found the markings for my holes. You can do it with a ruler if you want. Me, with something like this, I don't. When I do something that has more signatures, I will use a ruler. So for now, I'm going to clip this to the top. Oh, there's a T for top. So when I'm marking this and I'm marking the signatures, I know where the top is. And because if you keep turning it every which way, when you sew your signatures in, they will not be uniform. One might be taller than the other or longer than the other, and you don't want that to happen. So what you need to do is to get something that you can punch holes in. This is an old catalog, which I use for gluing and hole punching. I turn it over, use the back for the hole punching, the other side I use for gluing. So I'm going to take a punch. I have 2 different ones here. I have a fatter awl and I have a skinnier pokey tool. I got this pokey tool at Dollar Tree. You get 2 in a package. And that's what I'm going to use for now because the hole is the right size. So I poke it in and move it around a little bit to enlarge the holes, make sure they're large enough to fit my needle, because I'm going to be using a larger gauge needle to hold the heavier thread. Okay, got 3 done, got 6 to go. Hope everybody's doing well today. Just had some pretty heavy wind blow around out there. Here in New York State, we are experiencing some of the remnants of Tropical Storm Debbie. So in the Hudson Valley here, we're not going to get it too bad. West of us is going to get it worse, west and north. But the cone keeps changing, keeps moving west, so I guess that's a good thing for us anyway. Okay, so I have my holes punched. You can see here, I have my holes. They're all here. So now I'm going to remove this. Let that set up. And now I'm going into the signatures. I'll take my first signature, make sure all the papers are even, and this is pushed back into it, and I'm going to line up the center hole into the center of my signature. I'm going to hold it, poke my hole in the center. You can, what I'm going to do to keep everything uniform is I'm going to use my clips. Put a clip here and a clip here, and that way it holds it uniform. The envelope does keep moving though, so I need to find out where the center is on that. Make sure it matches up with everything. Nope, it moved. All right, there. Let me get it out from under that there. Okay. What you might want to do is get a little bit of washi tape. I have some scraps I have taped to the inside of my box. I'm going to put a piece of washi tape there. And oops, get another piece here. And put one here, just to make sure it stays and doesn't move, because it's not catching in the clips. Okay, got your T on your top, and you're ready to punch holes. There's number 2, and there's, let's get them all in the middle. Get it all in the middle, and there's number 3. Okay, there we go. Got all my holes punched. That one's ready to go. Let me step out while I punch the holes for the last 2. Okay, I have all the holes punched for each signature. So now I'm going to bring in the book. Remember which is my top. You can always put a little T or something in here. I just know from the looks of the cover, that side looks a little different than that side. So I like it that way, and then that'll be that way. Okay, my first one I'm going to use in the first holes here. Let me get my needle and thread it. Now, there's a lot of different schools of thought on this. Some people use regular sewing thread. Some people use embroidery floss, which I've used before also. I use crochet cotton. Other people use wax thread. So it's a preference. Whatever your preference is what you use. And also, many of them measure 1, 2, 3. Me, I have an issue with wasting, so I keep it onto my spool when I do it. So that's just me. And then I pull it and I make adjustments as I go. So what I'm going to do is I want my knots on the inside, so I'm going to start from the inside. Going through the middle one, and I'm going to pick up my cover and go through the middle hole on the cover. Then I'm going into the top hole, and then I'm going to pick up the top hole here that I made and pull it through. I know I have just about enough because I left some length here, but if you don't, just pull, and just pull and guide it. All right, now I'm going to do the bottom one. There's a hole, and there's a hole. Yes, it looks like it's, oops, that goes on the inside. Yes, it looks like it's a little longer, and that's because it's towards the edge. When we close it and fold it, it'll be fine. So I'm going to, that is pulled. Now I'm going to go in through the center hole, back through the center hole. Try to make sure you don't pierce your thread or whatever you're using, because you don't want to split your threads. So this is a little long for me. I'm going to pull it back a little bit until it comes to the edge. This is where I like to save. That's me, I have an issue. And then I pull my starting one that I left here. I will cut that. So that's still there. And here's this. And what you're going to do is going to pull these tightly. What I like to do is hear a snap on the outside. Then I know it's tight enough. And then I tie a double knot right over left, left over right, and I'll tie one more, just one more for good measure. And then I'm going to clip this down because I'll be closing. See, I'm going to waste a little bit anyway, but I'll use that for something else. All right, going to remove my tape, which held it in place. this one. And also remove my clips, because now is where you're going to get your things to be good. All right, gonna fold that up and press it so you have your envelope back. We'll glue that in a minute. And you're going to fold this to the side and press it, because when you close your book, it all sticks out. I do need to shorten it. I do need to cut it. Okay. See those? That's why I like real time on my when I'm doing my projects. So I made a boo. What I'm going to do is get a pencil here, and I'm going to draw a line, and that'll tell me how much I need to cut off each edge. And then I'm going to find my cutter again and put those pages under it. And cut it. I'm going to cut them off. Let's see. Still needs to be a little shorter. A little shorter. And you just do by measure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this after, just so I get it the right measurement this time, and cut those others before I'll have to cut a certain amount off of each edge. Okay, so let's get this in here. Get that up there. Put this, oops, get my envelope out of the way. Okay, get that in there again. And cut. You make mistakes, you just fix them. That's better. Now my edges are within my book. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my next section. I'm going to measure, where'd my ruler go? Here it is. I'm going to measure from the center. I keep dropping stuff, sorry about that. So it's at 5 1/4 on each side of, it's 5 inches on each side of the this box must have been a different size. That's the problem. Okay. So let's see here. 4 3/4 on that side, and 4 3/4 on that side. So I'm going to take my cutter and measure 4 3/4 from the center and remove, because I already punched my holes. I don't want to mess up where my holes are. Right, this stuff has to come out of the way, and that stuff is out of the way. Okay, so put this out. All right, I want that to be at 4 3/4. My fold is at 4 3/4. Put that down. Make sure everything is lined up first. 4 3/4. Put that down and cut. And if you make a mistake, it's just paper. You can start over and reuse this another time for something else. So 4 3/4 down and cut. There. So that should fit in here just right. Yep, there we go. That works. Let me cut the other one while I'm here, so I don't have to drag this out again. I'm sorry that this is a little bit of a longer video, but I like to do real time, so if I make a mistake like I did in measuring, you want to see what to do. You don't get upset, you just work with it. And you notice I turned it upside down, so I need to make sure my top is in the right spot. So I need to remember to turn it back this way and put this in. Okay, there we go. So that and that match too. Excellent. So now we're going to sew in the next two signatures. And at that time, I am going to put you on pause while I do these next two signatures. And where'd it go? There it is. I'm going to put you on pause, and when I got them both in, I'll come back and show you what's next. I'm lining up my holes at the moment. There, I'm lining up my holes. So I'm just checking to be sure the top is where the top needs to be, and nope, it's not. See, it's off, so I'm going to turn it and realize that that's my top and that's my bottom. So I need to turn this over, and this has to come out and go this way. That's why it's good to mark your template so you know where your top and your bottom is. I'm looking for the center hole here. There it is. There it is. I just want to get that in so I can measure and make sure everybody is where they need to be. Top. Yes, everybody is where they need to be. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to take that out. Put my clips on. You can use clips. You can use paper clips. So I know people that use the long bobby pins. Whatever you want to use for holders, you can. Ooh, it's getting mighty dark out here. So, all right, I'm going to put you on pause for a moment while I sew these other two signatures in, and then I'll show you what the next step is. Okay, I came back to tie off the last one because I had a bit of an issue with signature number 2. When I was working on these to tie a knot, I noticed that I did go through my, sorry, I have a catch on my nail. I did go through my thread. So, and I did it again here. You see it's all caught up here? See how it's caught up here? What you do is you just go in and you separate it. You take it out, put it down, make sure your thread is where you want it, and continue pulling so it's not caught up. It was caught in 2 spots on the last one, so I had to do that 2 times, and it's no big deal. You just pull it up, and if you if wherever it's caught, you just take it out, because you can see, and you just put your finger in and take it out. Now you notice that I have 2 ends on one side and this on that side. I want 1 end on each side because it's going to hold that flush. So I'm going to tighten it, check for my snap, got it, and then tie it. And I'm going to tie one more, and I'm going to clip them. Now what I did, let's take this off. That's all spent. Take these off. Now you fold it and make sure you got to train it so it goes like a book should go. And there you are. Now what I did in the second one, because that had the paper bag, I just left the tie like that. I just trimmed it down. Just trimmed it. Now, these two have the flaps that need to get flapped back up there. So I'm going to get my glue. This is, I think, Aleene's Tacky Glue. I also use art glitter glue too. So I'm putting glue on each side of the tab here, so it glues back on. I'm not putting it on this side because it'll go up too far. You want to put it so it's going to just as where you need it, not where you don't. So there we go. That's all glued shut. Let's go do the next one. Just remember, you glue the tab that you pulled off. Envelopes are easy to open. Just do it carefully and they come open. Just put the glue on and spread it out just a little. Make it come to the edge. And then close it up. And there, you don't even see the stitching on the inside of that. And this is all sewn in. How about that? Now I had another little bag here. Let me see if I can find it. I know I have it because it's making an extra pocket in the back. Luckily I have more. I got these at Hobby Lobby on sale a while back. I'll find the other one. It's under my mess here somewhere. So let's just get another one out. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use liquid glue. I'm going to use a glue stick. Close this up again so it doesn't dry out. I'm going to use a glue stick because I don't want, oh, there it is. I don't want lumps and bumps on it. So there's the glue side. So I'm going to take my glue stick, and yeah, my husband and I get these catalogs in the mail once a year, so I save them and use them. Another thing that you can use are magazines. They're good for this too, or a phone book. So, all right, so that's got glue on it. Let's get this out of here, because now I can just tear this off and recycle it. Okay, now let's put this on. There. And it's on. There. So we have 4 pockets within. I'm not sure what sort of embellishments, if any, I'm going to do on this, because I want the person that buys it to make it their own. So what I will do is I'll put my name inside the back and go with that. This one had to have something on it because of the stitching mistake on it. So here we go. I have 2 brown paper journals I created using junk, scraps. This would have been thrown into the recycle bucket. The box that's inside would have been thrown into the recycle bucket. I used that as my base for the book. So they each have 45 page faces in there to do with, and your envelopes and your bag. And they are ready for the craft fair. What I might do, I might add a little dangle to the top here. If I do that, I will come back and show you when I show everything else that's going to be up for the craft fair. But for now, these are considered done. Simple as that. Nice and plain. You can paint in it, you can draw in it, you can glue in it, you can use it as a glue book, you can write in it, you can sketch in it, you can use markers in it. Whatever you choose to do with it, you can do. So that's up to you. It is the journaler's prerogative as to what they do with it. So I want to say thank you very much. Sorry that this was such a long process video, but I wanted you to see certain things that go on in the creating of things. And if you like what you saw, please press the like and subscribe so you can see more content coming up or see other stuff that I've done already. Oh, one more thing, just to tell you that these journals measure 7 1/4. Yeah, 7 1/4 high and 4 and just over 4 3/4. So very nice journals, perfect size for your hand, and it works great. So, well, you all have a great afternoon, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.